less than 72 hours until Berlanga steps into the ring with Canelo, the boxing world is buzzing with predictions and debates over who will come out on top. Berlanga is confident he has what it takes to bring Canelo down, but not everyone shares his optimism. Let's take a look at what some of the pros think. Starting with Gennady Golovkin. Few fighters have troubled Canelo Alvarez as much as Gennady Golovkin. Their rivalry is nothing short of legendary, marked by two razor-close battles that pushed both men to their limits. Having faced Canelo at the peak of his powers, Golovkin offers a unique perspective on what makes Canelo such a formidable opponent. He knows firsthand that power alone isn't enough to defeat the Mexican sensation. Golovkin has a deep respect for Canelo's growth as a fighter, something he witnessed in their two epic encounters. Their first fight in 2017 ended in a controversial draw.
Final seconds of the middleweight championship of the world. Belts on the line include the IBF, WBA, and the WBC.
With many fans and analysts believing Golovkin had done enough to win, largely due to his aggression and powerful shots. However, in their 2018 rematch, Canelo surprised everyone by coming back stronger, altering his style to fight more aggressively and even pushing Golovkin back, something few thought possible. This evolution from Canelo caught Golovkin off guard and left a lasting impression on the Kazakhstani warrior. For Golovkin, it's not just about who can punch harder. Canelo's development as a smart tactical fighter has become his real strength. Berlanga has power, but power alone won't beat Canelo. He's faced many fighters who thought they could bully him with power. Canelo has learned from every fight. Our first fight, our second fight, he keeps evolving. Berlanga isn't on that level yet. Canelo's too smart now, Golovkin said. The veteran champion knows that power, while dangerous, is not the ultimate weapon against someone as skilled and experienced as Canelo. Canelo has faced punchers before, Miguel Cotto, Sergey Kovalev, even Golovkin himself, and has found ways to neutralize their strengths. Golovkin points out that Berlanga, despite his knockout power, hasn't faced an elite fighter capable of testing him in ways that go beyond brute force. Canelo's ability to adapt, change tactics mid-fight, and exploit his opponent's weaknesses is something Golovkin believes Berlanga isn't prepared for. Berlanga's knockout streak may have excited fans, but Golovkin sees it as a sign of inexperience rather than a ticket to victory against Canelo. Canelo is versatile. He can adjust to anything. When he fought me the second time, he fought differently than he did the first time, and I had to adjust. Berlanga won't be able to make those adjustments at the moment. That's why Canelo will win. In Golovkin's mind,
and I would love for him to beat Canelo so he can take all those belts away.
I think Canelo is just going to play with Berlanga. You know, I feel like Berlanga isn't as good as they make him to be.
And he's looked good, Berlanga. He's improved. I give him credit. But Canelo has aged a little bit. And if he has, well, then that catches Berlanga up a little bit.
I don't see how Berlanga can win it. Yeah, I don't see him taking those shots and standing up to those shots. I don't see it, bro.
Berlanga is simply not ready for the level of boxing that Canelo brings to the table. The young prospect may have power, but Canelo's ring IQ, defensive skills, and ability to break opponents down over time will prove too much for Berlanga. Another name that has been part of this pre-fight buildup is Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant's encounter with Canelo in 2021 was a wake-up call for many fighters who thought they understood what it meant to step into the ring with the Mexican superstar. Plant entered the fight confident that he could outbox Canelo, just like Berlanga is. Early on, it looked like Plant might be able to frustrate Canelo with his movement and jab, but as the fight wore on, it became clear that Canelo had a plan to break Plant down, both physically and mentally. Plant, like Golovkin, was struck by Canelo's ability to think on his feet.
We're going to do the same to him. We're going to break him down. One thing for sure, I'm Puerto Rican, and you know how that rivalry goes. You know, you never seen a Mexican have compassion for a Puerto Rican or a Puerto Rican have compassion for Mexican. And it's crazy how he could say he has compassion for fighters. Weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, we in a, like, you guys are UFC fighters, you know? You don't go in there and say, I'm going to have compassion for him. I'm going to be nice with him. Guys are going in
and adjust mid-fight. While Plant's defensive skills bought him time, Canelo's relentless pressure and body shots began to wear him down. In the 11th round, Canelo landed a devastating combination that ended the fight. Plant had been outclassed not just by Canelo's punches, but by his ability to break him down mentally over the course of the fight. Canelo doesn't just fight with his fists, he fights with his mind. Berlanga might hit hard, But can he keep up mentally when Canelo is slipping his punches and punishing him every time he makes a mistake? That's what people don't see. It's not just about landing big shots. It's about how Canelo gets inside your head, Plant explained. For Plant, fighting Canelo is a mental challenge as much as a physical one.
Final seconds of the middleweight championship of the world. Belts on the line include the IBF, WBA, and the WBC.
Canelo's ability to read his opponents, make them second-guess their every move, and capitalize on their mistakes is what sets him apart. Berlanga, in Plant's view, lacks the experience needed to survive that kind of psychological warfare. Canelo's ring presence is suffocating. He cuts off the ring, forces his opponents into uncomfortable positions, and punishes them when they try to escape. Berlanga, despite his power, has never faced anyone who can apply that kind of pressure. It's not about how hard you hit. It's about what happens when you get hit back. Berlanga has never been in there with someone who can break him down the way Canelo can. That pressure, that mental game, it's too much for him right now, Plant added. Then there was Charlo. Jermall Charlo is a fighter who has been chasing a fight with Canelo for years, until it ended with him down on one knee. Man, Barra's got some pop, but he ain't been in the deep waters. You think you can hang with Canelo just because you can knock out some journeymen? That's laughable.
You know, Edgar will meet him in the middle. He won't run. He won't try and survive for 12 rounds. He'll come for a firefight, and he'll give you a great fight.
If he goes in there and he tries to play chess with Canelo, it's going to be bad.
What I see in the fight, Canelo walking him down and ripping him apart by the 6th round.
Let's see how he does when Canelo starts making him miss and counters with body shots that'll take the wind out of him. Berlanga ain't ready for the big leagues, Charlo stated. Charlo doesn't hold back when discussing Berlanga's lack of experience. While Berlanga's knockout power has made headlines, Charlo believes that the young fighter has yet to face a real test in the ring. Knocking out lesser opponents is one thing, but stepping into the ring with someone like Canelo is a whole different ballgame. Charlo is well aware of what it takes to compete at the highest level, and he sees Berlanga as a fighter who is being fast-tracked without having faced the necessary challenges to prepare him for someone like Canelo. Canelo's seen it all. He's fought guys with power, guys with speed, guys with skills. What makes Berlanga different? He's not. Canelo will eat him up, make him look like an amateur, Charlo added. Charlo's experience and confidence come from years of competing at the highest level. For him, Berlanga is still a prospect with a lot to prove before he can even think about facing someone like Canelo. And the same is what David Lemieux sees. David Lemieux has been in the ring with some of the sport's most dangerous fighters, and he knows the pitfalls of relying too heavily on knockout power. His own career has been a testament to the limits of power against technical brilliance. Lemieux faced Billy Joe Saunders in 2017.
On that Canelo card, there's a guy that, granted, you're like, hey, if you don't get Canelo, I want to fight you, Edgar. He got the Canelo fight. So is there a possibility that you think Edgar can beat Canelo? Or
I mean, I don't see it, but, anything's possible in the sport of boxing. I'm sure we've seen crazier things, so, but no, I don't see it.
Would you fight Edgar after the fight, or it's just like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can make it happen.
And the fight was a harsh reality check for him. Saunders, a master of movement and defensive boxing, completely neutralized Lemieux's power, making him look one-dimensional in the process. That fight left an indelible mark on Lemieux, who came to realize that brute force alone isn't enough at the highest levels of the sport. When he looks at Edgar Berlanga, he sees a younger version of himself, a fighter who is dangerously reliant on his knockout ability, and who has yet to develop the technical skills needed to compete with someone like Canelo Alvarez. For Lemieux, Berlanga's knockout streak is impressive, but it's also misleading. Berlanga has been able to dominate lesser opponents, but those victories have done little to prepare him for a fighter of Canelo's caliber. Lemieux points out that many casual fans are enamored with Berlanga's power, but that power alone won't be enough when he steps into the ring with someone who can nullify it, as Saunders did to him. Berlanga reminds me of a younger me, relying too much on power and not enough on skill. Canelo will make him look amateur. I've been in there with top guys, and trust me, power isn't enough. Berlanga's knockout streak might impress casual fans, but against someone like Canelo, he'll get exposed. Lemieux is blunt in his assessment. His words carry weight because he has lived through exactly what he believes Berlanga is about to experience. He knows that Canelo's combination of ring IQ, defense, and tactical brilliance will expose Berlanga's weaknesses, just as Saunders exposed his. Power, in Lemieux's eyes, is only one piece of the puzzle. And and it's not the piece that will win Berlanga a fight against someone as complete as Canelo. Billy Joe Saunders has a perspective that complements Lemieux's, though his emphasis is more on Canelo's strategic brilliance than Berlanga's reliance on power. Saunders entered his fight against Canelo in 2021, confident that his movement, defense, and ring smarts would give him the edge. Early in the fight, Saunders' confidence seemed justified. He used his slick movement and elusive style to frustrate Canelo, making it difficult for the Mexican superstar to land clean punches. That punch wasn't just a display of power, it was the result of Canelo setting up traps, luring Saunders into making a mistake and then capitalizing on it in devastating fashion. Berlanga hasn't fought anyone with half the ring IQ that Canelo has. People look at Canelo and think it's just about power, but they don't see how he sets traps, how he forces you into making mistakes. Berlanga's too raw for that. Canelo will toy with him before finishing him. Saunders' experience underscores an important point. Fighting Canelo isn't just about avoiding his power, it's about navigating the mental chess match that he imposes on his opponents. Canelo's ring IQ is on another level, and that's something Berlanga, with his limited experience, isn't prepared for. Saunders believes that Berlanga will fall victim to the same traps that Canelo has used to dismantle more experienced fighters. In his view, Berlanga's raw talent won't be enough to keep up with the mental and strategic pressure that Canelo brings to every fight. Daniel Jacobs, who went the distance with Canelo in 2019, offers yet another perspective on why Berlanga isn't ready for this level of competition. Jacobs is known for his toughness and resilience, qualities that allowed him to survive 12 rounds with Canelo, despite absorbing significant punishment. But even Jacobs, with his proven ability to go the distance,
but it's not particularly smart from Lemieux. Here's some good work from Saunders. Lovely uppercut, and then that right behind the guard.
admits that Canelo's body shots are something that no fighter can fully prepare for. Canelo has made a career out of breaking his opponents down with devastating shots to the body, sapping their energy and will to fight. It's a strategy that has proven effective time and time again, and Jacobs believes it will be no different when Canelo faces Berlanga. Berlanga might start strong, but as soon as Canelo starts landing those body shots, the fight's going to change. Canelo's not just looking to knock you out, he's looking to break you down, and Berlanga hasn't faced anyone who can do that. I don't see him lasting 12 rounds. Jacobs' warning is clear. Canelo's body attack is one of his most dangerous weapons, and it's something that Berlanga won't be able to withstand. Jacobs has felt the power of Canelo's body punches firsthand, and he knows how quickly they can change the course of a fight. Berlanga, who has never been in a fight where he had to deal with sustained body work, will be in for a rude awakening when Canelo starts targeting his midsection. Jacobs' assessment highlights another dimension of Canelo's game that often goes underappreciated. While many focus on his headhunting and knockout power, it's Canelo's body punches that truly set him apart. By breaking his opponents down over the course of the fight, Canelo takes away their ability to defend themselves.
A lot of people saying that that Canelo's declining a little bit. I don't see that, man. I think that dude's a legend for a reason, you know what I'm saying? He put in that work to where he's at now, you know, so he knows what's up ahead of him, you know what I'm saying? As a legend, you know that it's a task always ahead of you, you know what I'm saying? So I know he's at his best.
Making the knockout almost inevitable. Berlanga, with his lack of experience at this level, won't have the tools to defend against such a sustained assault. Eubank Jr. brings a unique perspective to the discussion surrounding Edgar Berlanga's potential fight with Canelo Alvarez. Known for his own aggressive style and ability to thrive under pressure, Eubank admires Berlanga's power but is cautious about whether the young fighter can handle the relentless mental and physical strain that Canelo imposes on his opponents. Eubank is someone who thrives in high output, pressure-heavy fights, but even he acknowledges that there's a difference between being aggressive and handling a fighter like Canelo, who can walk opponents down with strategic precision. I like Berlanga's style. He comes forward, he's aggressive, but can he handle the pressure when Canelo is walking him down, slipping his punches, and countering every mistake? That's the question. Power is great, but if you can't land clean, what's it worth? Eubank recognizes that this fight isn't just about whether Berlanga has the power to hurt Canelo. It's about whether he can withstand the psychological warfare that comes with facing a fighter.
Nice, get ready. Yeah! Nice, that was fluid. Yeah!
who never stops pressuring you. Eubank's skepticism isn't unfounded. Even experienced fighters have struggled to handle Canelo's relentless pressure. His ability to make subtle defensive adjustments, slip punches, and counter with precision has left many top-tier opponents frustrated and fatigued. Berlanga, who is known for his knockout streak, may find himself in unfamiliar territory if he can't land those big shots cleanly. And as Eubank suggests, power means little if you're not connecting. This psychological aspect of the fight, where Canelo forces his opponents to question their own strategy and effectiveness, will be a major factor in whether Berlanga can survive, let alone thrive, against the Mexican superstar. Jaime Munguia, another rising star in the boxing world, echoes many of the same sentiments as Eubank, but he brings his own experience as a young fighter to the table. Munguia is no stranger to climbing the ranks and facing tough competition. And he believes that Berlanga is simply not ready for a fight of this magnitude. Munguia knows the importance of taking the right fight at the right time, and in his view, Berlanga is rushing into something that could derail his career if he isn't careful. Berlanga is still young, still learning. I think he needs more fights before even thinking about Canelo. He's got power. But that's not enough. Canelo's a complete fighter. He'll take you apart if you're not ready. Berlanga's got potential, but this fight is too soon for him. Munguia's perspective highlights the value of experience. He recognizes that raw talent and power can only get you so far in the sport, especially when you're up against someone like Canelo, who has seen and defeated every style imaginable. Canelo's versatility, his ability to adapt mid-fight, and his deep well of experience mean that he's always one step ahead of his opponents. For someone like Berlanga, who is still developing his skills and hasn't faced top-tier competition, jumping into a fight with Canelo could be disastrous. In boxing, rushing a fighter into a marquee matchup can have long-term consequences. A loss to Canelo at this stage of Berlanga's career could set him back years, both mentally and physically. Munguia understands this better than most. As he himself has taken a measured approach to his own career. He sees Berlanga's potential but believes that fighting Canelo now would be a mistake that could cost the young fighter dearly. Sergey Kovalev's take on the matter is perhaps the most sobering. Kovalev, a former light heavyweight champion and one of the hardest punchers in his division, faced Canelo in 2019 and learned firsthand how difficult it is to hurt the Mexican star. Kovalev was known for his devastating power, yet even he couldn't put a dent in Canelo. Despite landing some of his best shots, Kovalev found himself on the receiving end of a knockout in the 11th round, a testament to Canelo's durability and his ability to absorb punishment and keep coming forward. Berlanga thinks his power will be enough, but Canelo took my best shots, and I'm a bigger guy. Berlanga isn't going to hurt him. Canelo's too strong, too durable. Berlanga's power isn't what people think it is at the elite level. Well, what do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. See you in the next one.